Hello there, I've got a bit of a bonus video for you today. Now here's the thing, I was hunting through YouTube today to try and find a particular video, related to my work in fact, when I stumbled completely by accident upon a legacy YouTube channel that I created 12 years ago. I had completely forgotten this existed, and to be honest, I don't know what to do with it because I can't remember what the passwords were to get into it, so I don't know how to delete it or anything. And there's only 4 videos and hardly anyone's seen anything anyway. So one is me appearing on an edition of Dave Gorman's Genius TV show, along with Tim Minchin and Alexei Sale. And I did a bit of work for that show, and as a result I ended up being one of the stooges for the pilot. And yeah, so that little clip's on there. More noisy helicopters. The second video is my very first mention on the TV show QI. Now, as regular viewers will know, I went on to become one of the researchers and then one of the primary writers of the show, one of the script writers. But at this point in time, I'd only just joined as a researcher. But John Lloyd, the show's producer, the great John Lloyd, comedy genius, he discovered that I could draw and I could do photo manipulation as well. So I ended up doing a lot of the images on the screens that come up behind the panelists. So you see one of those. The third clip is me reading what's considered to be the worst poem of all time. But the fourth clip is a thing called Twitstunt. Now, Twitter started in what, 2006? And about a year after Twitter had been going, I was contacted by a friend of mine, a TV producer and filmmaker called Lara Greenway, because she was doing a short documentary on Twitter and the fact that it seemed to be the up and coming new social media thing. So what she did was she got me and a bunch of other writers together in a pub in London and made us have a conversation with each other just by tweets. Even though we were sat around a table drinking beer, we weren't allowed to talk to each other, we weren't allowed to have any contact physically, verbally with each other. All we could do was talk to each other by tweets. The experiment was to see if we would reveal more about ourselves online than we would if we'd actually been sitting face to face with someone, and you won't be surprised to hear we did. One thing that social media does is because it provides this screen and this level of anonymity, even if you're sitting around the same table with people, you tend to talk about stuff that you wouldn't necessarily talk about with someone face to face. It was a really weird experiment, but I thought I might share it with you because it's just interesting to see what we thought of Twitter then compared to what we think of Twitter now. Now, it must be said, I left Twitter a little while ago. I could see that it was becoming a bit of a dumpster fire and there seemed to be a lot of hate ideology on there, so I left it. This was even before Elon Musk took over and it became X, and I can't say I've missed it for a single day. But it's interesting to see how it started so bright and sunny and interesting and became what it did. So here's Twitstunt. Enjoy.
On the 22nd of April 2009, 6 people arranged to meet up for a drink in a pub in central London. Nothing unusual, you would think, apart from the fact they had never met in real life and have only ever had contact via online social networking and short message service Twitter. A blind date for the digitally enhanced, you may ask. As the evening unfolds, they still won't speak and will in fact only communicate via Twitter. 1 table, 6 participants, 6 mobile phones, 1 goal. Extreme social networking or a microcosmic experiment in the development of human nature. You decide. The evening and company quickly settled, but due to the lack of eye contact and negligible body language, a greater element of risk exists, something found greatly on most social networking sites. And then gameplay comes into force, like the Xbox Wii effect, battling your opponent right next to you. But does online life have a harmful effect on emotions as everything becomes virtual? And is it a threat to the development of the average human attention span? Could the result of instant information gratification be dumbing down the senses, or adding value to an already overloaded information highway?
Very strange. That was a really weird experience, but it was kind of weird, except it was kind of easy.
And I found the whole Twitstunt experimentation very interesting, very hallucinatory.
It was very, very, very strange. It's still strange, it's going on.
Making jokes, all trying to impress with gags.
You hear someone laugh, and then you kind of think, is that one of mine?
And I'm the only one that sort of giggled, I think, sort of out loud. But I've every so often I've noticed people kind of like slightly sort of chuckling. But
conversations you probably wouldn't normally have with a stranger, you'd have on the phone for some weird reason. It's like a lot of banter going on you might not have with someone you just met in real life.
The fact that we're all in the same space,
It's very odd because you have to sort of keep finding things to talk about because you don't sort of know the people around you. Well, there you go. As I said, only a short video today. I just thought I'd share that with you. And if you want to look at the other videos in that legacy YouTube account, I'll put the link in the comments below. But for the moment, I'm going to get out of the wind and the rain, and I'll bid you farewell. Toodle pip.